Peace, love, and light, soul tribe. Welcome to my vibe. I'm the inner path shaman and intuitive psychic channeler and a generational curse breaker with a message for light workers, for star seeds, for light workers, for anyone on their soul's evolutionary journey. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to help you to get some answers, some clarity, some illumination from the Most High Mother and Father God, your angels, your ancestors, and spirit guides of the highest love and light. Today's message is a timeline shift update. It is also a great solar flash update. So it's not a tarot reading per se. I'm straight up channeling from Most High Mother and Father God, the angels, the ancestors, and spirit guides of the highest love and light. So that means that they are giving me direct messages, and in this message today, we are not using the tarot and oracle decks. So that is what today's message is all about. But before I get right into the message, I want to give a warm welcome to anyone listening that considers themselves to be a black cat, a black sheep, or a scapegoat. Basically, you're someone that has been ostracized, you've been kicked around, you've been bullied, you've been shamed, all because you carry a special light within your soul, the light of life, or the light of God, or the light of Christ, or the light of the universe, or the light of source, or the light of truth, or the light of creation, whichever resonates with you. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you to heal from that trauma, to close out the toxic karmic cycles, to break the generational curses, and be able to continue on or embark on your soul's evolutionary journey, which is also the expansion of that inner light. So welcome. If you're listening for the first time, do hit that subscribe button, and for notifications, select all so that you're notified every time I post an update. I would also like to give a warm welcome to my newest subscribers, both in the spirit and in the physical realms. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome to the 5D vibe. I would also like to welcome back my OGs, my day ones, both in the spirit and in the physical realms. Welcome back to another update, and thank you for rocking with me this far. Most importantly, I would like to thank you all, my soul tribe, worldwide, universe-wide, for the positive vibes, the positive feedback, and the stories that you share with me through the comments, through the spirit realm, energetically or vibrationally. I really appreciate hearing back from you because you validate my purpose, which is to bring messages of healing, messages of illumination, messages of guidance for my soul tribe, for the collective of light, for the world from the higher realms. It's my honor to be that vessel, and I love you all. Last but not least, I would also like to express gratitude for the opposing forces that I encounter on this path. The haters of light, the haters of life, the dark forces, because through the contrast of their darkness towards my inner light, they have shown me just how powerful this light can be, and that it must stay on at all times. I'm especially thankful that I can now share that light with my soul tribe, with the collective of light, with the world. I really appreciate that input on this journey. So let's get into today's message, and before diving right in, I want to remind everyone that these messages are timeless. So when you hear the message, that's when your soul is ready to receive it. It doesn't matter when it was posted, especially because today's message also is an evolutionary update, and every soul is on its own journey, and every soul has its own pace at this collective evolution that's taking place. So it doesn't matter how long it's been after the message has been posted. When you hear the message, that's when your soul is ready to receive it. Also, the messages are collective, so only take what resonates with your soul and leave the rest. If the message resonates with you today and you would like a deep dive into your personal circumstances through a personal reading, a session, coaching, or mentorship, please send me an email. The address is in the channel description. Also, if the message resonates with you today, please give it a like to help make it more visible to others so that they too can come across this informative message. Also, if the message resonates with you today and you would like to unblock, boost, or activate your heart chakra, especially for the multidimensional aspects contained in the message for yourself, add green hearts to the comments. By adding green hearts to the comments, you animate Most High Mother and Father God or Source or the universe to optimize your heart chakra with the 528 hertz frequency, which is the frequency of love, the frequency of healing, the frequency of God, the frequency of DNA repair. So feel free to add as many green hearts as you are divinely inspired to, and let's get into the message. So today, Most High Mother and Father God directed me to share a great solar flash update, and also the news that there has been a big timeline shift in the collective of light. As a collective, we've made a big jump, and how I've come into this information is through the full moon in Capricorn, the recent full moon in Capricorn, which is now in a waning phase, but we are still within that full moon energy portal where, the energies are playing out the way that the messages came in through the full moon reading. So what I actually did was I had to stop. Spirit of the Most High Mother and Father God held me back from doing readings, and just taking my time through this energy portal, and seeing, touching, feeling the energies, and also receiving the intuitive downloads, and also making the observations. So right now what has happened is that as a collective of light, we have made our highest timeline jump. So what a timeline jump is, you are shifting from, because as a soul you are an infinite spiritual being having a human experience. So that means that you actually have infinite possibilities or infinite timelines to be on or to exist on. But it doesn't necessarily mean that every single timeline that exists for you is the best for you or is the most optimal for you, based on several reasons. So the most important timeline for you, for your soul, is the timeline that aligns with your soul's purpose, with your soul's journey, with your soul's light. So that's what timeline jumps are. You are jumping to the highest possible light, the highest possible reality, vibrationally and spiritually and energetically, based on the current circumstances that you're in, or the current stage you're on in your evolution, or the generational curses that you're breaking. This tribe is a tribe of generational curse breakers. So if you're listening for the first time, you're not here by accident. It means that you are resonant with the message today, and that makes you one of us, a generational curse breaker. So as a generational curse breaker, you incarnated to to rewrite your DNA, your ancestral DNA, your bloodline's DNA, your lineage's DNA, through your personal evolution, through your personal self-improvement, through your personal healing. So what happens is when you reach a new level of healing, a new level of consciousness, you may be aware of the jump that we're making. Like every soul has to make the jump from 3D to 5D consciousness, because we are now in the age of Aquarius, and it is a 5D vibration or a 5D frequency, and the baseline for it is the frequency of love. So for example, when you make that jump from 3D to 5D consciousness, it also in and of itself is a timeline jump, because you're no longer governed by the time constructs that exist in the third dimension. In 5D, time and space actually don't exist. You actually measure your existence by moments, by events. That's what actually happens when you do make that transition to 5D. Eventually you will release the need to control time, and when you do that, you're actually able to manipulate timelines, or you're able to manipulate time. You're able to travel backwards, you're able to travel forwards on your timeline, for you to either, extract some information, or to bring in some skills, or to stop some, future events from taking place, and so forth. So that's why, on this journey you often hear about timeline shifts or timeline jumps. And as a collective, because you are part of the collective of light, so as part of the collective of light, you may be aware that light is an expansive force, meaning that light expands. Light expands outwards or upwards, whichever way you want to look at it. So that very expansion of your light is also what causes you to shift timelines, because when you reach a new level of light, it means that you have reached a new level of psychic abilities, a new level of consciousness, a new level of awareness, a new level of revelations, a new level of you closing out karmic cycles, toxic cycles, and breaking generational curses. So that's what this timeline jumping is all about. So the major shift, or the information that I'm getting from the full moon in Capricorn, is that it is the highest timeline jump. And if you have already listened to the recent full moon in Capricorn 2025 message, you'll remember that the main focus of that message was on gaining inner strength to complete difficult challenges or goals. So I was curious. That's kind of like the question that I posed to the universe, or Most High Mother and Father God, or Source. I was like, what is it? Because sometimes when I hear messages like that, sometimes it can also make me, apprehensive. I'm human. I get to feel anxious too sometimes when I hear things like I'm being given strength to overcome a difficulty, or to the next thing I want to know is, what is it about, or what is happening. So yes, we were given as a collective of light. If you've been tapping into the full moon illumination, full moon energies, this full moon in Capricorn, you have been receiving big doses of strength, because there were also lion energies, or there are lion energies in that energy portal. So if you haven't already listened to that message, you can listen it to today. Actually, this is why Most High Mother and Father God, the spirit team, backlink videos. They link past videos to the current message, to help you to get up to speed, or to help you to, as a bridging way for you to, for it to make sense to you. So if you haven't already, check out the full moon in Capricorn 2025 message. So yes, there is lion energy in that energy portal. There is strength, big doses of strength that are being given to you. And how is that strength coming through to you? How are you being given that strength? It's through the great solar flash. So if you're not familiar with what the great solar flash is, I encourage you to do your own research, because that is what this journey is also about. So I could be updating someone that needs to go in hermit mode, or someone that needs to stay in hermit mode and familiarize yourself and expand your consciousness, your awareness, as far as the great solar flash is concerned. But the great solar flash is the vehicle for these DNA upgrades, for these strength upgrades, for your jungle DNA activations, just generally for your enlightenment, because the age of Aquarius is also known as the golden age of enlightenment. So that means powerful sun rays are flooding the planet, causing mass awakenings. You may be aware of it as the Great Awakening, causing, massive epiphanies, massive psychic and intuitive downloads, and the cascade effect of that is, the awakening of a soul to an issue, to a problem, to a curse, to a hex, to a spell. The awakening of a soul to that is also the healing of a soul to that, because once you become aware of it, you start doing the needful to heal it and to close out that cycle. That's actually how you rewrite your DNA. So you're doing it together with the sun. I could be updating someone that is working with the Egyptian sun god Ra on this journey, if that's what this message is for you. Or this could also be an initiation for someone to work with Ra. So you're doing it in collaboration, because Ra is an ancestor of this tribe. So you're doing it in conjunction with the sun or with Ra. You're also doing it in conjunction with Source or with Most High Mother and Father God. So it's like you are an integral part of the universe, an integral part of the cosmos. That's why you're known as a starseed, and as a starseed, you're also someone that is meant to carry and embody a lot of light. So that is what is happening in this great solar flash, and that is what is causing this big shift, this big energetic shift, this big evolutionary shift. Ancient karmic cycles are being closed out, and it's leaving the dark forces with their grandfathered karma. So by grandfathered karma, I mean that they're carrying the sins of their fathers, and this is a metaphoric, so it can be their father or their mother or both, but they're carrying the sins of their fathers, they're carrying the sins of their grandfathers, they're literally carrying the sins or the karmic burdens of their lineage, their ancestry, their bloodline, because whoever is still incarnate within the collective of dark forces and within their own individual bloodline, whoever is still incarnate is actually carrying the whole lineage, the whole ancestry's karmic burdens, just like you yourself as a generational curse breaker. That is why you were chosen by your ancestors as a generational curse breaker, because you were actually chosen because you're able to carry their burdens, to carry their curses and help them out of it, whether they're still incarnate or whether they're in the spirit realm only. So what happens is, when your light increases, you start pushing back those burdens back to where they belong. You start releasing those burdens. When you release karmic burdens, when you close out karmic cycles, those burdens are returned to wherever they came from or wherever they transferred from, because that's what the dark forces do. They actually incarnate to transfer their karma onto beings that carry light, to transfer their dark karma. So by dark forces, I mean covert narcissists, psychic vampires, energy vampires, empty vessels, soulless beings, demonic principalities, demonic strongholds. They could either be embodied or they may just be primarily in the spirit realm, but their sole purpose for existence is to harvest life force energy from beings of light, such as yourself. So what is happening now is, as each soul awakens to their light, you're shedding those burdens, you're shedding that baggage, and you're leaving those dark forces with their grandfathered curses, hexes, and spells. It is their karma, it belongs to them until they choose to go on a journey of enlightenment and self-improvement and spiritual awakening like yourself. So because they're not healing, they don't want to heal, they don't want to evolve, they don't want to change, they want to stay stuck in that mindset or construct that was that was promoted by the deep state, the matrix that is now collapsing. They want to stay in that kind of simulation that empowers them to abuse, to kill, to destroy beings of light, to plunder our light, to to dim our light. Like with them, you never really know when they can. They want to siphon the life force or the light, and when they can't, then they want to kill it, to destroy it. I'd be updating someone that is also been currently dealing with the graveyard attacks or graveyard spells, curses, hexes. If that's you, then this message definitely is for you. You definitely want to revisit the full moon in Capricorn message, and also tie it up with today's message, whatever resonates with you or whatever jumps out at you as you hear the message. So what is also taking place is there's also like a weeding out. It's like a picture your spirituality as being like a metaphoric garden that you tend to. You could also resonate. I'll be updating someone that's working with Ascended Master Yeshua on this journey. If that's you, this message is for you. You may resonate with one of Yeshua's parables about the vine dresser, but that's also like another parallel where he's likening spirituality to either horticulture or agriculture or gardening, whatever resonates with you. I could also be updating an earth sign, or this could also be a call for you to spend more time in nature. You don't have to be an earth sign, but so the metaphoric spiritual garden is your place where you're trying to plant seeds that benefit you, that resonate with you on your journey as you continue to advance, as you continue to evolve. You want to plant, whether it's plants, flowers, trees, shrubs, whatever it is. But at the same time, it can also happen that there are also other plants in existence that are not necessarily to your taste or to your liking for them to be an integral part of your garden. So they're known as weeds. So you would also resonate with the biblical parable that talks about the wheat and the tare. What is actually the separation of the wheat, not the weed, the separation of the wheat from the tare. That is actually exactly what is happening right now. You yourself are weeding your spiritual garden. You're pulling out the weeds. That implies pulling out things, places, people, situations that no longer resonate with you on this journey. Pulling that up, pulling those energies up by the weeds. By the weeds keeps coming through. So definitely there is, I'm definitely updating someone that is dealing with spiritual weeds, because weeds tend to be invasive, weeds tend to be aggressive, weeds tend to also choke out the good plants. So I'm getting a lot of biblical references coming through. So I'm definitely channeling Ascended Master Yeshua. You may also know the parable of the sower, which also references, the types of ground where spiritual seeds can fall. There's the ground that is thorny, the ground that is rocky, the ground that is fertile, and weeds again are coming up, the ground that is thorny or full of weeds, unwanted plants, so that is exactly what you're doing on your journey. Is you're weeding out anything that no longer resonates with you. So what that can do is, if you are someone that is familiar with gardening or farming or agriculture or horticulture, I could be updating someone that has been in those lifestyles or vocations, either in this lifetime or past lives. That's you, this message is for you. But if you're familiar with the weeding process, it can actually tend to be very laborious. If if you're an organic soul, if you're into organic gardening where you're not into using chemicals, to manage your weeds, if you're someone that goes it manually, or using your hands, you'll know that it can tend to be very tedious, very laborious. It can take hours. There's actually a negative force in the weeds. That's what causes all those negative energies to swirl around you. If you've observed just how much of a pain in the ass weeding is. So I could be updating someone that has recently been weeding in your garden, in the physical realm. If that's you, this message also is for you. Or this could also be a call for someone to attend to physical weeds in your garden, especially do it spiritually, meaning use your hands, don't use any automation, and don't use any chemicals, because when you're doing it spiritually, you want to limit the interference of third parties or impurities in the process of you connecting with the spirit or the universe, or most time than Father God or your spirit team as you do it, because they will actually talk to you through the process, and they will be able to help you to correlate the weeds that you're pulling out of your garden and what is taking place in the spirit realm, or on your journey, or on your life, and how that weeding process is actually helping you to clear your path along the way. So that's why spirit is coming through with an encouragement to just do it the good old-fashioned way, to not use any chemicals. Yes, you can use tools, use weeding tools by all means, but make sure that your hands, your fingers are also handling those weeds, because your hands, actually, you have Reiki energy. Reiki energy is light. So as your light touches those weeds, as your light touches the darkness in those weeds, you will actually start getting revelations and epiphanies in this great solar flash. The great solar flash is actually a cosmic event that is, ongoing throughout 2025, for the rest of 2025. So that's why spirit is encouraging someone at this point on your journey to give yourself deeper awareness and consciousness about it, so that you can continue to close out toxic karmic cycles and break generational curses for the rest of the year. Because yes, the dark forces are really trying to block chosen ones, light workers, and star seeds from ascending. So what you may also be experiencing at this time, to confirm for you that yes, this is what is taking place, or this is what you're going through, and this is what the collective is going through. You may be experiencing ascension symptoms. You may be experiencing, like, for example, because it's just been full moon, and there is that energy of full moon lunacy from the dark forces, or the beings of darkness, or the devil's children, the devil's spawn, whatever resonates with you. But their low vibrational energies, their full moon lunacy at full moon time can manifest as rage, can manifest as rage attacks, can manifest as lucid dream attacks, using rage. That means inducing you into a sleep state, and causing you to rage, whether within your own soul or outwardly towards another being, another entity. So Spirit wants you to look out for those kinds of attacks, because that's what full moon lunacy is. Lunacy is when an entity is unable to control themselves, or to balance their energies. And because full moon energies, for dark forces, it tends to be an extreme for them, because the moon is the illuminator of the darkness, or the revealer of what's hidden in the dark, the revealer of dark secrets. So that's why they really get antsy and out of control and raging at full moon time, especially when you're weeding them out, or when you are, cutting them off of your life or your support or your energy. They really get antsy, they rage, they get angry. But there's a covert a tactic or a covert narcissism that is also at work. They don't want to be seen raging, so they would rather project their rage on you. I could be updating an empath. You could be a Heyoka empath, or just an empath in general, because dark forces are aware that empaths tend to feel the energies and absorb the energies around them, and they actually use illusions to mess up with your mind in the moment of an attack, to mess up with your mind, to get you to to assume that energy, or assume that rage as if it were your own. In the moment, in the heat of the moment, you can't really tell whether it's you raging or whether it's another entity that's making you do that. So that's what demonic entities, demonic principalities, demonic strongholds, covert narcissists, psychic vampires, soulless beings, trolls, bullies, that is the underhand, the covert tactic that they use to cipher, or to rather to project their rage on you through curses, through hexes, through spells, and also through the use of other tools or implements. Because remember, chosen ones, we are in a spiritual warfare. Don't forget that it is a spiritual warfare, and they're using anything and everything they can to attack chosen ones, light workers, star seeds. So another tool, or another method that they're using to attack is they're also using technology. They're using cell phones, they're using other devices to cause, to either cause sensations in your body, or to cause your heart rate to increase, or to cause your body temperature to rise. And they're also using that's why weed kept coming through, because they're using a weed strain. So you may be aware of cannabis. The nickname for cannabis is weed, but they're actually using a strain, a very dark strain, a very destructive strain known as dark wizard. And this is not an organic, by the way. Cannabis is actually now legalized and recognized as a plant medicine. So you may be familiar with medicinal marijuana. You may also be aware of it as marijuana. So you may be aware of it as medicinal marijuana. But marijuana in general is now legal and is now recognized as a plant medicine. It has been a plant medicine the whole time, but yes, the deep state, the matrix, they actually smear campaigned. They can also smear campaign not only humans, but they can smear campaign animals, they can smear campaign plants, especially useful plants that are useful to humanity. So weed, cannabis, marijuana is one of them. So there is a dark strain that has been slipped into the population by the dark forces known as dark wizard, and it's actually genetically engineered. It's not really an organic strain, so that means that it has been bred to have addictive and very dark traits. Because what happens is when you consume plant medicine, and this message spirit is touching on marijuana, but when you consume plant medicine, you become one with it. That's why you find that if your blood gets tested, for example, within a certain time frame of consuming plant medicine, it's found in your blood. What that means is that you're one with it. So or in your DNA, your blood has DNA. So so what happens is when you consume plant medicine, you become one with it, because it's a spirit. It's a spirit, it has personality, it has character. So the same thing with this dark wizard strain, it has been engineered to have certain characteristics, certain dark traits or dark energies that can induce someone to performing very dark acts, especially in the spirit realm. Because remember, these are covert narcissists that don't want to be seen committing any crime, committing any dark acts in the physical realm. So that's why spirit touched earlier on, for example, lucid dream attacks, to induce you into a lucid dream state, where a lucid dream is a dream where one has control. But if someone is using it to manipulate you, it means that they are planting or injecting or projecting a lucid dream in which you don't necessarily have control, especially if you are asleep to it. You need to be awake to it. So I will be updating someone that is also experiencing lucid dream attacks, especially during this full moon energy portal and the full moon lunacy. So pay attention to that as well. Pay attention to your dreams. But that's what happens. That's what is happening is there are certain elements that are committing spiritual crime through what spirit has just described, and because of that, they are actually creating a negative fire or a counter fire on the planet. So it's not actually the sun that is scorching the earth. You may also be experiencing extreme heat. You may be experiencing heat waves, and these are also being projected even at an individual level. So spirit wants someone to know that you are not having hot flashes, you are not menopausing. These are heat attacks that you are receiving at this time. So in a nutshell, the spiritual crime that is taking place is such that God through Ra has to send in the right light codes, the right light signals through the sun, through Ra, to stream it down on the planet, to make sure that those that are evolving, those that carry the light, do not perish. So that's, in a nutshell, that's what Ascension symptoms are. So you may be experiencing, certain discomforts due to the extreme heat. You may be experiencing extreme heat. In some cases too, they also use extreme cold attacks. So you may be experiencing extreme cold attacks. But whatever it is, whatever Ascension symptoms that you're going through, you are receiving the right light codes to keep you stable and to keep you alive and to keep you evolving. I could be updating someone that has just recently gone through a near-death experience, an NDE or a Kundalini awakening or a spiritual awakening or a dark night of the soul. If that's you, this message definitely is for you. You are receiving enough light, so don't worry about that. You are victorious, but you have to stay mentally stable and you have to stay balanced. You have to stay in your tunnel vision and your focus on your journey, because remember, every soul is on their own journey. As a collective, yes, when we conquer, when we become victorious in our own light as a collective, our light gets brighter and brighter. But you are really meant to focus on your own journey, on your own path. That's why Spirit brought up the practice of weeding your garden. So Spirit is also saying to someone, stay hermit. So that means keep your energies pure, keep your energetic space pure. Don't interact or mingle with other energies at this time, because you are receiving very powerful DNA upgrades. That's what also the great solar flash is about. You are receiving very powerful DNA upgrades to help you to withstand extreme conditions on the planet, because that is what this evolutionary event has come to. It's dark versus light. And if the dark is being extreme, the light also has to, balance it out. And how the light balances it out is through evolution and through you powering up, upgrading your DNA to where you can withstand those extreme attacks and those extremes of temperatures, because you're not really meant to be confronting anyone or hitting back. That's just a waste of time on this journey and during this spiritual warfare, because that's another thing too, is that they are trying to engage chosen ones, light workers and star seeds, as an attempt to pull you back onto a timeline or an energy frequency or vibration where they used to be able to get you and be able to curse you and and destroy you and harm you. So you're not meant to be dealing with anyone at this time. You're meant to stay hermit. That means staying within your inner world, your inner space. Now, that doesn't mean if you're someone that has to deal with people, whether this is through your vocation or, out of necessity, through your profession, through your employment, it doesn't mean that, back away from that responsibility. It just means that even as you interact with those souls, especially if you're dealing with toxic co-workers, Spirit doesn't want you to get sucked in their attempts to engage you. Spirit doesn't want you to interact with them, especially if they're not on the same journey or the same path with you. Just stay focused on your plan, on your path and on your soul's plan, and only interact as much as required of you. So that's a disclaimer for someone, but Spirit is saying stay hermit, meaning stay connected only with divine forces at this time. Stay connected with stay connected with Most High Mother and Father God, your angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides, the cosmos, the animals, the plants, like-minded individuals like yourself, your soul tribe, your star family, any entity that carries the light. That's where your focus should be on at this time, because it is a balancing out of the dark and the light forces on the planet. So that's why you need to ensure that you are staying balanced. You could resonate with the yin and yang. You need to make sure that you're staying balanced within your own soul, so that those DNA, those powerful DNA upgrades, those powerful light codes that are coming through are actually, cycling through you to completion, and also safely. Because if your energy is not stable, then this evolutionary journey can actually become very difficult for you. You could resonate with Dolores Cannon. I could be updating someone that is working with Dolores Cannon on this journey, or this could be an initiation for someone to work with Dolores Cannon. But Dolores Cannon spoke about this time, and she actually mentioned that many are not going to be able to make it, because it is a difficult transition. It is actually the evolutionary process that is taking place from 3D to 5D consciousness is such that you have to become superhuman. You have to ascend and rise above the deep state, above the matrix, to where you can, stay connected with the truth and the truth of who you are, and live your life that way, or journey through life that way. So that's why Spirit wants you to stay hermit and stay connected with the realm of truth. The moon also is the realm of truth. Your angels, your ancestors, the spirit guides of the highest light, they are in the realm of truth. The moon, the stars. So stay connected with those forces and look out for any attacks to mess with your mind. I could be updating someone that's dealing with the gaslighting attacks at this time, also someone that's dealing with the rage projections. And Spirit is also saying look out for color coordinated attacks, because if you're a light being, a dark entity cannot come at you one-on-one. They always work in groups, they always work in gangs, they always work in covens, they always work in secret societies, because one entity can't face your light alone. So how they're doing it is they're wearing certain colors to project certain energies. They're color coordinating their attacks. So Spirit wants someone to start being aware of any color schemes or any color patterns on your path, or in your experience, and see, pay attention to the individuals, the colors that you're seeing. Pay attention to how those individuals, the energy that they project towards you, or who they've been on this path to you. So there are color coordinated attacks that are taking place. So pay attention to the colors, and connect with the spirit realm, for the truth about the color. Like, for example, the color red is being used to project rage. The color orange is being used to project fire energy. So because the great solar flash, yes, the sun is now hotter than what it used to be. The sun has also evolved. But what these dark forces are doing is they're actually piggybacking off of that fiery energy, or that heat, the sun's heat, the increased heat that is now on the planet. So that's why we're reaching extremes. I could be updating someone in the northern hemisphere that has been experiencing the heat waves that are going up to 33 degrees Celsius. That's like uncharacteristic and on the high side, but that's because the dark forces are also piggybacking off of what the real temperature should be, and they're also using that to project heat attacks on chosen ones, light workers and star seeds. And also take a look at nature and the environment around you, especially if you are surrounded by toxic entities. You can actually see the destruction that they're causing around themselves in an attempt to attack your light, or to overheat you, or to or to burn you out. That is actually what is happening, is they are actually destroying the environment around themselves. So pay attention to things like that, because as always, these messages about self-awareness. The more self-aware you are, the more aware you are also of your surroundings, the better you are able to weather the storms, the better you're able to balance yourself. It's one thing to get your mind messed up or played with or manipulated, and then experience a heat wave or an extreme of temperature, because that just makes it worse. But when your mind is clear, when your mind is lucid, when you're balanced in the mind, you're also able to then calm yourself and stabilize yourself in an extreme heat or an extreme temperature attack. You can calm yourself to where you can actually practice mind over matter. You could resonate with mind over matter. You can, you can overcome that extreme by maintaining a balance. This could also be a call for someone to meditate more during these types of energy periods, because it's like an ebb and flow. Sometimes we do experience an opposite of these energies, but this is currently what is happening right now in this present moment. There is a big timeline shift that has taken place, and the ones that are being left behind, the ones that are choosing not to grow, not to evolve, not to heal, the ones that are choosing to continue causing harm to others, the ones that are choosing to continue casting and projecting dark witchcraft, dark wizardry on chosen ones, light workers and star seeds. They are actually now on the receiving end of those karmic burdens that they have been projecting. So you just want to make sure that you keep yourself aligned with your inner light, and also with the light of the universe, with the realm of truth, so that you don't get tripped up, so that your awareness of the situation, your awareness of the illusions is not is not blocked. So that's all I have for you today, Soul Tribe. I would like to take this opportunity to close this message and to wish everyone a beautiful day, living your best life. Until next time, one earth, one love, peace.